our next speaker, Jeff and Marcy Wilhems, actually going to present a panel. And I remember calling Jeff and Marcy. They owned a Remax franchise, and they're like, can't leave. You know, we have 10 years on our franchise. Can't be done. A month later, they paid almost $100,000 and bought their freedom. Today, they have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of agents. I know they're glad they decided that they could. There was a way. They figured that out. I did not help them with that. But in case Remax is listening. But they're going to come up here and share with you some of the biggest superstars at our company. And I absolutely love Jeff and Marcy Wilhems. They're a beautiful couple from Tucson, Arizona. And Jeff's going to lead the panel. Give him a hand, everyone. Big Willie, Jeff Wilhems, everybody. Woo! Come on.
Let's give it up for Brent Gove, everybody. Oh, my gosh. He set that up as a pretty nice introduction. And I got to say that I can't think of a better business partner on planet Earth than Brent Gove. And I'm so happy that he called me and asked me to talk him off the ledge from leaving Keller Williams to join this company called eXp Realty that nobody had ever heard of. And not only could I not talk him off the ledge, we ended up joining, like he just said. And I tell you, it was the greatest decision in my life. So it's been a game changer. I got to spend time with Michael this morning, and Glenn gave Glenn a big old hug and said, hey, dude, I can't even believe that we're here. So I'm very humbled to be able to come here, bring our superstars, a few of them, and showcase at least 4 of them for you today. And who wants to learn how to navigate this real estate market that we're in right now? Raise your hands. Oh, come on. I'm not even freaking going to do it. If you raise your hand, give me an applause. Come on. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So here's what we've got. We've got 4 rock stars that are in our organization that I wanted to get up here and have you guys be able to listen to what they're doing and glean the information, take notes. I mean, if you're not taking notes, you're going to be really sorry. I guess you could watch the replay if they're good enough to post that somewhere, like on YouTube. But Amanda Hurd is going to be our first panelist. Amanda Hurd, Tom Martin, Chad Schwinneman, and Michelle Wilson. And if I could get Amanda's slide, I'd like to let you guys know that Amanda and Rodney Hurd run a team in Indianapolis, Indiana. They were one of the first people that we talked to about joining eXp. Total rock stars. They run one of the top teams in Indianapolis. $98 million in sales the past 2 years. 150 plus in their eXp RevShare organization. Amanda is also a coach in the Bill Pipes organization. I want to welcome to the stage rock star Amanda Hurd. Yes. Love these guys. Plus, they're almost like our best friends. It's amazing. Thanks. You sit right there. So the next person I want to ask or have come up here and talk to you guys today, you know, I would say, you know, I've got all kinds of things that I could say about him, but I'd like to have you put up the slide that I made so I don't forget and leave anything out. So, and I've got all my notes here, but it's just easy to read here. So Tom Martin comes to us from Orlando, Florida. Tom was a team leader at Keller Williams. 8 years in a row, though, he led the entire office that he was at in sales. He took an office of 35 Keller Williams agents to 250 agents while he was there. And he has a current RevShare group of a couple hundred agents, a little more than that. But he's on fire. And I met with a guy that he had this morning that was here that was also a Keller Williams team leader. And big things happen at big events. Hank, you're here, and I know you're coming. So I'm really glad that we got to meet this morning. But Hank has brought on 500 agents since he's been with Keller Williams. And so I know that Tom and Hank are going to do some really big things. But welcome to the stage, Tom Martin. Come on. And by the way, he's my bodyguard everywhere I go. Dude, thanks, buddy. Come on in. So now, Chad Schwinneman. He's my next guy that we're going to bring up. Chad was the #1 real estate team leader in Minnesota, and actually worldwide, with Exit Realty. This guy's a complete rock star. Him and his wife, Missy, and their son, Ro, are here today. But Chad, I worked on Chad probably, I'm going to say about 6 years. So it was constant follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. Not now, not now. He's not ready. He wasn't ready to hear it, wasn't ready to hear it. And I got to say, I was finally blown away when he said he was ready to listen. And he's bringing his team here, or he brought his team here. This team is nothing short of a miracle. I mean, when you're talking about somebody that sold 1,600 homes in the last 2 years, 1,600. $500 million in the last 2 years of sales. They are partners with Bob and Brenda Corcoran, over 1,500 people in their RevShare organization, 25 FLQAs. Welcome to the stage, rock star Chad Schwindeman! #1 in the world, forward with Exit Realty. Come on, brother. Plus, a little side note on Chad. Beyond selling all this real estate, the guy has 600 Bitcoin miners. And so he's doing pretty well in the crypto world as well, I would say. So congrats on that, Chad. So last but not least, certainly not least, is another one of our rock stars in our organization. And this lady really needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. Her challenges, if I told you about all of her challenges she had coming over, formerly with Century 21, she had a partnership that was kind of messy up in the Pacific Northwest that she had to get unraveled. Lots of reasons not to come, right? All these challenges happen. She didn't let any of them get in her way. She saw the opportunity. She built one of the largest independents up in Washington, one of the top agents that we have in our organization, over 600 agents in her RevShare group, and she's amazingly fit. If you guys are looking for somebody to help you with working out, coaching, it's Tom and Michelle Wilson. Come on up, Michelle. Let's welcome Michelle. Come on, girl. Good to see you. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to go ahead and have a seat. I'm not out of breath, but I do want to sit down. I think it'd be a little more comfortable. These are nice chairs they put up here. What'd they do this for? This is cool. All right, so here's the deal. I want to ask the audience or out here if you guys are serious about knowing what to do in today's real estate market. Are you? Okay. So we got the next 25 minutes to talk to you guys about this. Amanda, why don't you start us out? If you were in this real estate market, which you are right now, what are you telling agents on your team and agents you're coaching? Give us a couple of nuggets of what they should be doing.
They should be working on their skills, prospecting for lifestyle, right? I think we heard some of this week. The big thing is making sure you're making lifestyle choices. So if you're prospecting 1 hour, what kind of lifestyle will you have? 3 hours? Maybe a better lifestyle, right? So skills and prospecting discipline are some of the key things, along with clearly, I think we'll talk about this a little bit, I'm sure it'll come out, lead generation is a must. Whether it's Sphere, online, open houses, and what you do around each of those to really pound through and making sure you're getting the maximum results out of each lead generation.
So improving your skill set, practice.
100%.
Pretty much what Pipes talked about all day yesterday.
I mean, probably everybody, right?
Yeah, right? So I think that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to scripts and dialogues, right?
Yes.
All right, yeah, and prospecting. Tom?
I'm going to say that, how you show up, skill set, mindset, and habits are extremely important, and it's been consistent today that we're hearing prospecting-based, marketing enhanced. So you definitely have to build your skill set on whatever lead generation that you're going to go into. Pick 1, 2, or 3 and master it. Script and role play. I've been doing this 23 years. I script and role play every single day. So until you do it more than 10,000 times, you're not a master. So I would say right now, lead generation, prospecting based, build your skill set, learn your scripts, and the scripts are designed for you to master the script the way it is. Don't make up your own. So
I can't. We're already kind of developing a pattern, scripts and dialogues, right? Prospecting, but it's so true. You've got to be doing it. Chad, what do you think?
Yeah, we're talking through our team right now. We know fourth quarter's coming. We know the Fed's going to raise rates 2 more times, and like Jed was saying earlier, fourth quarter is a tough quarter for a lot of people, and up in Minnesota, it's especially challenging with the winter months. So we're talking to our team about 3 hours a day of prospecting.
So like 40 to below zero up there in the wintertime?
40
people
below.
people aren't buying houses then?
Not too many. But again, it's important to spend 3 hours a day prospecting. 15 hours a week is what we tell our agents. And there's going to be days where they don't. Then Saturday and Sunday are makeup days for them. And really understanding we need to eat the frog in the morning is what we tell them, is trying to schedule no appointments before noon and just having that commitment to prospect those 3 hours Monday through Friday for the next 8 weeks will springboard their business going into fourth quarter.
Now, when you're prospecting, now I just want to follow that up with, are you having your team prospect during what I believe Jeb called the golden hours? Is that what you're...
The problem is the golden hours sometimes could be 5 to 7. A lot of times agents they're mentally worn out, the days past them, so we really want them to prospect in the morning just to get it out of the way. And then if they don't have the contacts, if they're prospecting 3 hours a day, it should be 20 contacts a day. 100 a week should be 10 appointments. And again, it's just a numbers game, and that's what I tell all my agents, is being efficient and really focused on the prospecting and not being a pop-up realtor when people call and even checking emails or text messages, just having that dedication for that 180 minutes to hammer the phones.
So I got to stand up for this one. Chad's son, Ro, where are you at? Where's Ro? Right over here. This is Chad's son. He got his real estate license, Brent, how long has he been real estate licensed?
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Just graduated high school.
I assume he joined EXP, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
no.
good.
Yeah.
No, so this is the story. Ro, this young man, got his license 2 weeks ago, and his first 2 days made 1,900 dials?
1,900 dials.
Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
And 1,900 dials, how many active buyers do you have now from those 1,900 dials? And you didn't really know what you were saying yet, right? Yeah. Now, how many buyers? You got, did I hear 6? 6 to 8 buyers. Let's give this guy a hand. Now, do you think that Chad's up here BSing about prospecting if his own son's back there making 1,900 dials? Who in here has made 1,900 dials? And I'll show of hands, and I'm gonna be in on that audience. Show of hands, 1,900 dials in 2 days. Ro's hand's the only one up in the air. Good job, Ro. Michelle, I want to hear what you think we ought to be doing in today's market. Right? One more hand for Ro. Come on. Ro Schwindeman.
So like Jeb Blunt started with and everyone else, I think the most important skill that we develop is lead generation, right? Because without that, this is how we have control of our business. This is how we can have a duplicatable business. No matter what the market's doing, no matter who we work for, we're not reliant on any of the marketing companies. You heard a lot about that, the last few days as well, selling you the leads back, right? And the only way to do that is to master the skill of lead generation, right? And that's how you can control it. And the number one question I get from agents every single day is, how do I get more listings? How do I create a listing-based business? Every single day, this is the biggest question. And if you learn the skill to develop the skill set and the processes to be able to go out and get listings, procure and create listings, I believe it'll solve all of your production problems, all of them. And so I think that's one of the biggest focuses there. And I believe the biggest void in our industry is the skill set to generate and convert, because it doesn't matter whether you're a prospecting background, market, whatever your business comes from. The biggest void I feel we have is the skill set to have the conversations to convert the business we generate from any source that we do. So
that's good stuff. I mean, you've got to have the skill set, and to prove it to you that, and I could be a little rusty because I'm not working the phones on a daily basis, but could you just be my potential seller for just a second?
Absolutely.
So Amanda, this is Jeff calling for the Marcy Wilhems team. I got your request for a free home evaluation, and I just wanted to ask you if this is the right time to go over that with you.
Sure.
Great. So the first thing that I need to do, Amanda, is I need to let you know that for this evaluation to be super accurate, I'm going to actually have to take a look at your house. While I'm there, though, I can give you tips on what to do and, more importantly, what not to do to get the most amount of money for your home. We can go over our marketing program, your closing costs. Then we'll know exactly how much money you'll have left in your pocket at the time of closing. How's that sound, Amanda?
Sounds good.
What's better, tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening? Now, I got to tell you guys, well, I thought I might get an applause for that.
We got you.
All that is how we got into real estate. I started using a very similar script to that I learned at a coaching program where I met Brent Gove, our sponsor, at a Craig Proctor seminar in Toronto, Canada about 20 years ago. That was Craig Proctor's script. It is a free over-the-net home evaluation script. Used it as a lender, as bait for the, because people are going to get a home evaluation for two reasons. They're either looking to refinance or they're looking to sell. Sometimes for tax records, or they want to know what the taxes are on their house. But I got to say that worked like a champ to get listings. So if you're not doing home evaluations and using things like Fellow and we're going to get into some other nuggets that you can pick up. I got to say that everything's about seller leads. Yes, it's great to have buyer leads, but sellers are what are, list to last. You guys ever heard that term?
Yeah.
This is no different in this market. You got to get listings, because if you got listings, you could control. Amanda, what else should we be doing in this market?
For sellers specifically?
Sellers. What are you telling people for specific sellers?
So one of the things that has worked for a lot of agents that I talk to is truly with that open house, to create more listings, you need to be circle prospecting and door knocking. If you're just looking for
Perfect.
that, yes, and with an excellent script, right? Yes. If you're just looking for that initial listing, a way that's inexpensive for individual agents or teams out there, and most of you sometimes cringe about wanting to pay a referral. There are so many referral sites that you don't have to pay upfront fees for. So there really isn't an excuse. That's one thing you can do that's going to be no upfront cost, jump in the game. Sit in other people's open houses. That's a big one to really, and even if they're not with EXP, I don't know if that works in all states, but you can absolutely network. Look at the person next to you. If they're in your area, the relationship piece, it's a relationship business. When you're out and about, don't be that agent incognito, because that's how we've come up with a lot of listings, a lot of agents I talk to. It's not being that agent incognito.
No, that's a really good point. And I think that I have to say the agents that are in our market in Tucson, Arizona are very good about calling. They want to work our listings. We have a lot more listings than the average bear in our market. And if they're EXP agents, we let them sit at our open houses if they don't already have them scheduled, or we'll let them hold an open house. So that's really a great point.
Absolutely.
Tom, what do you think?
I'm a firm believer right now that you have to take action in order for anything to happen. The only way to build your skill set is to take action and fail and fail and fail. Right now, just get on the phones, take action, find out one or two things. I built my business from for sale by owners, expireds, and circle prospecting. And right now,
Say that real slow again.
For sale by owner.
Okay, for sale by owner.
Expired. Circle prospecting.
And circle prospecting. You guys get that written down?
I wasn't looking for buyers.
Okay.
The buyers come, and the more listings you get, the more buyers you get. So take action, fail, and then you're going to build your skill set. Trust the process. Follow that pattern. Take action, build your skill set, trust the process. It will work, but consistency and persistence will equal the success in anything. So how you take care of yourself is actually how you're going to take care of your business. And that's how I feel.
That's
so right
really
now,
stuff.
take action.
Awesome. Chad.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Now we're starting to see more expireds hit the marketplace, so that's something we're really going after with our ISAs calling, as well as an extensive mailing campaign, which separates us, so it's being unique. The other thing that's been a home run for us is Ryan Young, a friend of mine, started a company called Fellow, and that's been huge as far as sending out to our database and our past clients and getting that opt-in for a free home evaluation. So that's been really good for us. And it's a little bit more of a long-term play, as most sellers are, but that's been very effective.
Michelle?
So for me, where I would start, there's the number one, where I would start number one is you have to decide what approach you're going to take, because there's a lot of ways to get listings, right? So I'm always going to speak to how do we get more listings, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. More passive approaches, more direct approaches, and you're going to get listings from all of them. So I think number one is you have to decide like what you're willing to do every day, consistently, day in and day out, if that makes sense. Some of us are in a little bit of less urgency for having to create as many deals as we want. Some of us need to create the business immediately. If you're like myself, I'm impatient. I want direct results immediately right now. And so you have to decide which methods you're going to use, because you'll get business from all of them, right? So even like a driver, even your personality styles, right? Like a driver wants an immediate result. And so I focus on listings. We go directly after fresh expireds and canceled, older expireds, for sell by owners, circle prospecting, always the database, and in that order. And I think that's where it starts. We have the shiny toy thrown at us in a million different ways, but you have to decide and pick what your core is and or what maybe you're missing to add into your business, and focus on that. And then it's consistently showing up, because if you consistently do anything, it'll work. That's reality, right? And that's what happens is anything else that we don't do inconsistently, of course it's not. And then I would say, everything is around, you have to master the conversation, right? So if you aren't working every day to develop the skill to generate listings, convert listings, the process with listings, how are you gonna get good at it? So that is an absolute must, that you're developing that skill and conditioning yourself and training every day, or you will not get good at it. And then I know everyone's talked about this, all the way through, but I look at, you have to find, so I think of this as like I attract the people that relate to the way that I do business, right? And you find what that source is that you're gonna be building around, and you have to get really good at it, right? Really, really good at it. And the great answer to that is the playbook's already there, right? You have to have a coach, you have to have a mentor, right? I've had incredible mentors in my life with Mike Ferry, Greg Harrelson, Chad Cooley, that can open that up for you so you can become the best and be in that environment. So that's probably the process that I would follow once you decide where you're going to be diving in or become the best at what it is you're going to focus on.
You said Mike Ferry. I've been a Mike Ferry student since I think I'm about as old as him, but I got to say that guy is still out there, and you can go to his website and you can pull up all these scripts, all these that you can use in your business, and there's so many resources. But what do you guys think so far of this Rockstar panel? You think they know what they're doing? Come on, Chad. I got to say, actually, I'm going to skip Chad for just a minute. I want to go. I want to go to Amanda. Amanda, okay. Tell us how important it is for, if you want to improve your skill set, how important is hiring a coach?
It's incredibly important. The skill set and the discipline to practice leads to the accountability. What's the best form of love? Accountability, right? With your kids, your relationships, and that's what coaching provides. Coaching also gets you into action, right? And that skill set, if you don't know, raise your hand if you are newer and maybe you don't even know what you should be doing every day, right? That could be a few of you. If your skill set has plateaued and you need to go to that next level, both choices are, let's get with a coach and see what I should be working on. If you have a great mentor, lean on them, but that coach provides that accountability and lets you know what that path is to $1 million+ GCI.
Love it. So coaching is pretty important. Michael Jordan still has coaches, only they're coaching him now how to handle all the money the guy's got, right? But he had coach after coach after coach. In fact, I would hate to be the coach that cut him when he's in the 10th grade. That would be pretty bad to be that coach. But yeah. Michael had coaches. Tiger Woods, one of the greatest golfers on the planet ever, still has a coach. Phil Mickelson, all these guys and gals at the top of their game in sport, they all have coaches. Well,
and for each, mindset coach, performance coach, financial coach, right? It is. If you have that surrounding you, there's nowhere to go but up into the next level.
I've been coaching and training agents for going on 20 years now, and I got to say that our team, I just recently hired Bill Pipes to coach our team, Courtney Atkinson to coach our team. You can't have enough coaches. Courtney's another rock star in our organization up in Canada. Amazing. Because the kids at home, and they're not kids, our leaders on our team, it's like I'm their dad sometimes, and they get sick and tired of listening to their dad. So that's why I've got 2 other coaches that Marcy and I have hired, but it gives us the freedom and the flexibility to be at a lake house all summer long, or be in Florida when it's nice and warm in the winter, and then the rest of the time it's nice and warm when it's not super hot in Arizona, because we just chase nice weather now. So Marcy can golf 6 days a week, and then I can do Zoom calls. And EXP allowed us all to do this. Come on. Tom. Tell me what you would say to somebody that says, I want to increase my skill set, I want to practice, but what's the best time for me to do it? What's the best way for me to do it?
Oh, I'm going to say start by 8 o'clock. Be prepared to make
Are you talking about like an hour of power, or what are you talking about?
Well, what I used to do, and this is what I highly recommend, is 7:30 I'm in the mirror, script and role playing with myself, because nobody else is committed to doing it with you.
What do you say? Oh, I like this gun. I like this gun.
No, I want to know. I want to know my demeanor. I want to know the smile on my face, because that energy is coming through the phone, right? So you need to speak with confidence, right? So my calendar is extremely important, because if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. If you put it in your calendar and you don't do it,
write that down.
Then you are just going, I don't care what I say, I'm just not doing it. Getting a coach, now you're accountable because you're making that payment to that coach. So my very first coach was McFerry. I didn't have any money. I just started in the business. And he said, I need you to write 4 checks for an additional $500. And I'm like, for what? He goes, because we're going to give those to people. When you don't do your accountability, we're going to mail them a check. And so that's what I did. I didn't know what else to do. 1 check got cashed, and that was it. It never happened again. So a coach is extremely important, because they will hold you accountable. And if you say that there's an expense to it, it's an investment.
It's an investment. It's an investment. Well, I got to say, speaking of investments, and Chad, we're going to get back down to you in a second. I got to ask, who has already went and enrolled for the university with Jeb Blount? Because I can show you my receipt right now on my phone. I've already purchased it. I don't mess around. And I'm going to share it with my team. Look at all the hands up. So if you didn't do it, make sure you get that QR code. And by the way, I ordered it so fast I did not get the 50% discount. And I told Jeb when he came back off the stage, I said, dude, I just ordered it. I forgot the discount, but I want to let you know that your team is, or the discount code, your team is already on it, because I emailed them and they refunded the other 50%. So I paid $9.99. I already got 50% back. So if you haven't done that, I would do it, because fanatical prospecting is how you learn to be like Roe. 1900 calls. Chad, tell us how on earth that you sold you and your team of 14 agents. By the way, this is not a mega team with like 1,000 agents that you hear people talk about. You know, and Real Trends magazine gives these people all the credit, and you know they're like the large teams, and they do 1,000 homes. These guys are doing it with 14 agents. How do you get that kind of capacity out of 14 agents to do those kind of numbers?
Well, they're truly Navy SEALs.
Can we bring Chad's mic up a little bit? Or Chad, maybe you can bring it up a little bit.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
I said they're truly Navy SEAls, so we've been blessed to have a really great culture, and my veterans hold the new agents accountable. And really it is a choice that you have to commit to do the 3 hours a day of prospecting, and it's just that important. And we have obviously generated a lot of leads that come in every month, and we talk a lot about the lead phone needs to be the frosting and not the cake. The cake is the prospecting, and those agents that do it consistently, their business just starts to take off. And I thought Jeb had a really interesting comment when he said, when you're selling from desperation, people can sense that. Mm-hmm. And this is a business about momentum. So we want our agents to create momentum as quickly as possible and then ride that wave. And it takes a lot of work to hit momentum. But once you have it, it's tough to stop if you follow those steps. And so we've got a true buy-in from our team, and we've had some great coaches. We're working with Bill right now, and it's been phenomenal. And I call him Uncle Bill, because he's the nice guy. Like Jeff said, I'm kind
talking
of
about Bill
dad.
Pipes, right?
Yep. I'm the dad that's always yelling at him, and Bill's the nice uncle, right? So they like him. And
I told him this morning that he's mastered an art that I have never mastered. He's learned how to be pleasantly pushy.
Yes.
All I am is pleasant. I would use another P word in the way I go, and people, our team does not like that too well. So it's a lot easier for me to be a cheerleader than the other P word. So, but Bill he has a way about him. Did you guys like Bill Pipes yesterday? Come on, I know we've heard a lot of rock stars, and that have been here, but I just was really blown away. And every time he opens his mouth, I'm listening because he's like E.F. Hutton. You guys are too young to remember that probably. Michelle, what else could you add?
So I think equally as important as having the right coach, the right mentor, right? There isn't one way to do this business when you need to focus intentionally on that, right? And the reason you have that mentor or coach is because they've done what you're trying to do at such a high level. You don't have to figure it out, right? But equally to that is you're now plugged into an environment and an ecosystem that's fighting the same fight as you, right? So it creates accountability. It creates, they're gonna share, right? You're gonna learn from each other. It's how new licensees can be taking 3 to 5 listings a month, 30, 60 days in. And I watch this every single, month in and month out. But that environment is so important. You can't do it on your own. When you plug into with a coach or into a community, you get plugged into that environment, whatever method of a business that you're gonna do. I think that's super, super important to think about. So you gotta plug into that environment so you're exposed to that and you're building it truly together. And the great thing, what's so amazing about being here is because of the collaboration and because of all of our partnerships, whatever you're focused on, whoever that mentor is, whoever that coach is that you're gonna take on, whatever environment you're gonna plug into, all of them exist at the highest level. You have every solution, but you have to be intentional on generation of your business and plug in that way. But leverage that environment.
This is what my wife is constantly talking about, is how sharp our team is. How sharp are these guys? Come on, let's give them a hand. Guys, I gotta just say that they have made this journey at EXP so easy, surrounding ourselves with agents like Amanda and Tom and Chad and Michelle. It's just, I couldn't be more proud, and man, I love all you guys. Thank you for letting us share the last 25 minutes with you, and if you need anything, you can reach out to me, Jeff at Wilhems.com. My telephone number, 520-250-9477. I don't care what business organization that you are in here, because you're in our organization and our family at EXP. Love you guys. Thank you for having us up here.